As instructors, I don't think we're really allowed to have a favorite, the favorite kind of project, but if I were doing BlueStamp, I would pick Hexapod, because they look awesome, and the places people take them with their modifications is just incredible every year that I've been here. And Rohan, this year, just took this project and ran with it. And it was really incredible. He assembled the whole thing, started CADing a modification, immediately asked about doing code modifications. He found every challenge he could possibly face and just attacked it with a ferocity that was amazing. And it just got more and more impressive. And it finally got to the point that just yesterday, the day before his presentation, we had to basically beg him, like, please just put it on pause for 1 second. Please just make sure it works for your demo. And then you can go back to modifying everything. And I think that just encapsulates Rohan. It was absolutely amazing to work with him. And I hope you all like his project.
Hi, thank you for the intro, Ben. So my name is Rohan. I come from Union High School, and as you can see, I chose the Hexapod robot as my project. I chose this for a variety of reasons because, as you can see here, I got a lot of experience with distance sensing, servo control, and a lot of movement calibration as well. So before I get into my project, I'll just explain to you how it works. So I have a controller here, which has like a joystick as well, and I have my robot control board, which is currently like right here underneath all these wires. So how it works is this controller will send signals by an RF module. It'll send a stream of numbers to the robot control board in a byte, and each number is linked to an order. So when the robot control board deciphers those numbers, for example, number 62 could be linked to order move forward, or 58 could be linked to order move backward. That's how the robot moves. So this is crucial to explain my first modification, because to do so I have to actually change that process a bit. My first modification was adding 2 coils right here for servo motors. In doing so, I had to use another board, an Arduino Nano board, because I ran out of servos on my main board. And basically what I did was I added 2 extra orders to the controller, 3 actually, order open, close, and stop. And those are sent to the main board, which then relayed them to the Nano, which basically makes the claws move up and down. I linked it to these 2 potentiometers, so if I move the first one, the claw will open, the second one will make it close. Here's a quick demonstration of that in action. So as you can see, the first potentiometer will make the claws open, and the second one will, second one will make it open, the first one closes it. And this leads me to my second modification, because as you can see, I have LED lights that change color. My first LED I added right over here, and I added 2 at the bottom, and these were also linked to the Arduino Nano, because then I could do some pretty interesting things. So as you saw, when the claws are moving, the lights are blinking from yellow and blue, and vice versa. I also use an ultrasonic sensor, so if an object gets too close to the robot, the top LED will flash red as a warning signal. And yeah, so these are basically the modifications I made. I added the LED light, I added 2 claws, also added an ultrasonic sensor. A few challenges that I faced when making these modifications were a lot of soldering. As you can see, I have a whole bunch of wires here, and that was a lot of work soldering all the wires here. In fact, one time I discovered I had a short circuit, and luckily I was able to identify that before turning on my robot, otherwise the whole thing would be a catastrophe. Yeah. And next steps. Currently what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make my robot voice controlled. So technically it already works, but the main problem that I have is that I have this red board right here, and if I plug this in, technically should work, but the main problem is that it only detects a specific frequency of my voice. So if I say a bit too loud or a bit too quiet or faster, then it won't even pick it up. So that's what I'm currently trying to work around. So I don't have a demonstration ready. Another thing I'm trying to do is add an LCD display. Same thing here, I technically have the code working, I just need to upload it to this and solder a bunch of wires. And this LCD display will be mounted here. It will just say the word Hexapod and display the distance readings from the ultrasonic sensor. So just to add a bit of personality into the robot. So while doing this, another main challenge, actually we can go back to challenges. Another main challenge that I faced was with the clock. So this was mainly a design challenge. I initially intended to have a horizontally opening claw because that's better for efficiency. But I realized that it really messed up with the movement controls. I had to completely recalibrate the motion, and I ran into a lot of issues with the motion. So I ended up going for a vertically opening claw, which isn't as functional, but still technically gets the job done. Yeah. So in this project, I learned a lot of things. I got better at, as I said, like calibration, like calibrating the leg of the robot. Also learned a lot about how different boards interact with each other. As you can see, I have 3 boards, so I have to have a lot of interacting components between those boards. A lot of wiring and code was needed, so that I could have the robot's main board communicate with the Arduino Nano to drive the servos and do a bunch of other functions. So yeah, I learned a lot of things in those areas, and I'm pretty happy with what I made. So yeah, that's basically my project.
Can we move forward and backward?
Oh, sure.
Or does it spring up and spring down?
Yeah, so the robot has a few basic options.
I think so.
So forward, left and right, and all. And it can also turn. I have 3 different modes actually. So if I put 2 modes on at once, the robot can turn.
Oh.
Yeah, and the claws opening as well. Any other questions?
What's your favorite modification to work on that you added to your project?
I think my favorite modification, the one I'm looking most forward to would be making it voice control because that's something I find really interesting. But the favorite one I've completed would probably be linking the LED lights to the claw and seeing what kind of color sequences I can play around with. That was very interesting to me and something I really enjoyed working with. Yeah.
So you mentioned that the next thing that you want to do is the voice control microphone, or you have that challenge of the different frequencies. So what is it exactly that makes that a challenge, and do you know a little bit about the steps that you're going to take to battle that challenge?
Yeah, so mainly what makes it a challenge is because, a person's voice isn't monotone, right? It'll constantly change, even mood can affect it, the scenario can affect it, and it can be very difficult to get the exact, the correct speed of voice and the correct frequency and sound. So yeah, actually right now I'm still researching other ways that I can make it. I'm using the Arduino voice module, so I'm still researching ways that I can add different sound